All right, guys. As a reminder, you're going to get a recording of this at the end. So if you missed the beginning, we'll have that to you on Friday. Ayse, kick it off.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Welcome everybody to this webinar. I am going to be going over Unlocking Value with AI 2025 Tech Trends. So the AEC industry is undergoing a revolution driven by artificial intelligence. This transformation is not only optimizing traditional processes, it is unlocking unprecedented value for our clients. In this presentation, we'll explore a few of the AI technology trends, shaping how WGI implements and innovates with the up-and-coming AI technology, providing our clients value and savings. So originally this list was curated by myself and a handful of other colleagues about the trends that we're seeing in the AEC industry with a particular focus in AI. And this was developed for a white paper that came out a couple of months ago. And Dan is going to drop the link to that in the chat if you guys would like to peruse that. But this webinar will go over in a little bit more in depth on some of those topics that are provided in the white paper. So I will do my best to answer all of y'all's questions at the end, but not all of these are my area of expertise. So I will make sure to get you in touch with somebody who can answer your question more impactfully than I can if I'm unable to answer it. And then a little bit more about myself. My name is Ayse Heckel. I am an innovation engineer here at WGI. I have been in this role for a little over 3 years now, and I am working with the buildings team. So I have a background in structural engineering and design, but I am really passionate about the automation and the driving efficiency of our engineering and architecture teams. And that's what I spend most of my day-to-day on now. So needless to say, this webinar and this topic lend itself very nicely to my role, and AI has impacted my role greatly, as well as all of the different tools and efficiencies that I'm able to provide for my team. So just a little bit of background about myself, and definitely that this is one of my passions. So the list of topics that we're going to go over, you can see on your screen now. But for years, we've all been hearing about AI and the artificial intelligence and how it's revolutionizing the industry. And it is. It's here. So now how are we seeing it benefit our clients? So this is a very short list of what myself and my colleagues are seeing here at WGI and what we're investing our time and our research into to make sure that our clients are seeing the benefit and the impacts of all of these new and improved AI technologies. So the topics we're going to go over are AI and project management, visualization enhancements, generative AI, code development, software efficiencies, geospatial technologies, data processing and optimization, and proposal and writing assistance. So for the first topic, AI and project management, we are seeing an increased trend in using AI for different project management tools. These tools analyze vast amounts of data, allowing the project managers to predict project success, based on historical data, taking into account many factors such as client, project type, project manager experience, and many others. These tools are also allowing for optimized timelines of our projects, understanding and adjusting the preceding task requirements and how it affects the timeline overall, adjusting the entire plan throughout. We're also seeing dynamic resource planning, which showcases the resources that are available at the project start time and the resources that become unavailable throughout the project timeline, allowing the project managers to plan around these obstacles further down the road. Then WGI is actively working on implementing AI tools to assist with administrative tasks to save our project managers some time, such as streamlining communications and summarizing live project data. So an example of this streamlined administrative task is status update letters. So based off of our added and completed tasks in our project scheduler, we're able to very quickly and efficiently curate status update letters that are going out to our clients or our design teams based on those completed tasks that are relevant and tailored to our clients. And the value add of all of these efficiencies for our project managers is timely project completion and project risk reduction. Next is visualization enhancements. So we are seeing AI be prolific in the creative space as well. It is now as simple as typing a couple of sentences into any large language model to receive an image that can better explain an idea to clients and the design team. Everybody knows the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but with the use of AI, we're able to really showcase that these pictures and these images are getting our point across so much more efficiently, and we're able to generate all these images so much more efficiently, probably with less than 1,000 words, to be able to really get our idea across and make sure that we all have the same image in our head and we're not thinking different things and possibly miscommunicating. We are also now able to use AI to generate detailed 3D models from our 2D drawings. Then also from these 3D models, we are able to create realistic renderings and visualizations of a project, which assists with these client presentations and helps identify potential issues, allowing us to make adjustments early on in the design conversation. And then going beyond just visualizing the project, with these intelligent models that are created, AI is now able to take these 3D models and really assign a lot more intelligence to them and help us develop digital twins based off of these 3D models. So that the project can be maintained past its creation and harness that inherent data that we know is within each of these models. And this is being done a lot more efficiently than it was previously. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is a snapshot of a digital twin of our WGI headquarters, where we were able to take the model of our headquarters and some of the inherent data that lives within that model and very easily showcase and access it for a predictive maintenance tool. So the image you're seeing on the screen is showcasing the fire safety exits, as well as if you click on one of the icons, you're able to see kind of the inherent data that lives within it, like the electric vehicle charging. So these visualization tools aid in project creation and communication, as well as provide long-term value through digital twins. Okay, now we're going to go into generative AI. So I apologize if everybody knows what generative AI is. I just want to give a pretty high level overview in case there are people on the call that don't. So generative AI is a tool that allows the designers to explore many design options quickly and efficiently, from the user establishing parameters like dimensions, cost, material types, square footage, and many more. The program can then generate many options spanning the gambit of the parameters provided to be narrowed down based on client preference or a prioritized variable. So the image that you're seeing on the screen is, I think, 36 different tables that were generated, with the parameters being the table height, width, length, and material cost. So based on all those parameters, the generative AI was able to develop all the options that you're seeing, and with the color coding based on the cost of all of those tables. So for example, if a client was able to say, hey, we really prioritizing a cost reduction, we would make sure to not include some of the red tables that are going to cost more and include more of the 10 more towards the blue tables and kind of run with those options. This is a lot faster generation and a lot more options to be able to showcase our clients, rather than the 3 or 4 that an engineer or an architect would have time to come up with before presenting them to the client. So this really gives a really broad spectrum and enables everybody to get on the same page at once. So you might be thinking, hey, we're not designing tables typically in this industry. So we're kind of taking this idea, this example, and applying it to places where we need optimization and prioritization of different variables. So one example I can give you is we are using things like generative AI to optimize floor layouts from a structural perspective. So we're able to lay out the structure of a floor and have the bays all outlined based on what the column layout is. And then we're able to ask the AI, hey, please go in and find the optimal bay layout to save on material costs so we can be a little bit more sustainable. And from that layout, the AI is able to run through lots and lots and lots of different options and really make sure it converges on that optimal solution. Granted, there are some times when the solution is not constructible, so we have to set those limits. But for the most part, the optimization is able to provide a way better option than our engineers would have the time to come up with, especially if the AI is able to do this so much faster than our engineers. So these generative AI tools are inherently in Revit, and they can be really easily built out in Rhino if that's a program that you guys are using. And then similarly, all of these functions can be programmed into software with different customization opportunities. Then the value add for this generative AI for our clients is a lot more efficient collaboration and understanding of the design choices and their consequences. Okay, next is code development. So WGI has been seeing a big uptick in the use of AI in regards to writing code to update anything from an Excel spreadsheet or to building out an entire engineering application. So on the left-hand side of your screen, in Excel, it is now very simple to open the Copilot tab and ask in a natural language for the Copilot to help you write a macro or an extensive formula to be built out in a cell that the creator may not know off the top of their head and would take a lot of time researching, trial and erroring, and figuring out what's going to be the best option. So the simple question that I asked Copilot in the left-hand image is, to help me write a macro that refreshes all the data queries when opening the workbook. Something really simple that I have done previously that I have to go back and find, or I'd have to Google. It was able to just feed me that code and I just copy and paste it into one of the workbook VBAs and it was running pretty easily. Another example where we've used AI to help us write a formula within an Excel cell is I helped out our drainage team try to find an optimal flow rate. So they had a beautiful calculation written in Excel, but they were getting stuck and weren't able to find a convergence for that optimal flow rate. And so just quickly asking Copilot and saying, hey, I need a formula that's going to help me reach this level. It was able to write one up for us really easily. And it actually turned out it wasn't a formula within Excel. It led us to, hey, you need to write a macro to be able to do this. So just making sure that we're not going down the track and spinning our wheels too much on the development of these. The AI has been really helpful. Then on the right-hand side of your screen, when building out an entire engineering applications, there are also natural language assistants that can contribute to the creation of these calculations. So very similar to the Copilot example, this example is using Victor AI, the beta version. And I was able to ask it, hey, I need to build out an engineering application that helps me validate a weld calculation. And I need a visualization. So I need to be able to see how long and how thick the weld is in this orientation. I need to be able to validate that the thickness and the length of the weld is going to be sufficient for the loads being applied. And then I also want it to spit out an entire calculation sheet that I can then just download and save in my calculation package. And this Victor application is going to go a long way to be able to create that for me instead of me having to write that code from scratch. So the big value add here for our clients, while it doesn't directly benefit our clients, it leads us to faster tool building, but also leads our engineers to building and creating a lot more efficient and accurate deliverables for our clients. Excuse me, I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay, awesome. On to the next one. So the next one we're going to cover is software efficiency. So another way that we are seeing increased value for our clients by using AI is an example from our Streamlined Technologies division. our Streamline team develops software, licensing it out externally. So while partnering with an external AI firm, the team was able to enhance the accuracy and validation in their FloodWise software of specific points that are geolocated on the building's footprint to provide quick results for our clients. The AI component of the software detects patterns and suggests improvements. Previously, this validation was a manual step performed by a member of the Streamline team, which ate up a lot of their time. The Streamline team has now had time to focus on larger enhancements to the software, further increasing the efficiency and value that it provides the users of the software. The use of AI in this scenario has ensured data consistency and accuracy within these projects. And then next is geospatial technologies. So our geospatial team here at WGI is constantly doing their research and finding smarter, more efficient ways to deliver their services. And they've been able to step up and provide on that, which is just amazing. And we're all trying to follow suit. So some of these that they are researching under the umbrella of the use of AI is AI integrated cameras and drones to identify potential site issues and suggest optimal solutions. Another is using a trained model to recognize and assign information to portions of point clouds, creating an intelligent BIM model. So previously, this is really difficult to kind of take a point cloud and understand that the point around this beam is equaling a wide flange. We've been starting to dabble in the use of AI to help determine and kind of help us build off of those shapes in the point clouds. However, the geospatial team's biggest and largest AI success has been their development on the machine learning algorithms to analyze data sets, analyze LiDAR data sets, allowing for easy feature classification, building footprint details, and asset identification. For example, extracting billboards and advertisements along state roadways for rapid validation and a compliance survey. By integrating machine learning into geospatial processes, WGI accelerates project timelines, reduces costs, and seamlessly transitions workflows into a fully digital environment, setting a new industry standard for efficiency and precision. Okay, next one is data processing and optimization. So data is a hot topic around AI and always will be a very large component of this AI technology conversation. We are seeing how AI can save our teams a great deal of time when it comes to assisting with the data processing and optimization. Particularly in our planning group, many of the decisions made early on in projects at WGI come down to the data that we have access to and an understanding of it to help us determine the project's best steps as well as next steps. When using the AI to assist with these decisions, the teams are able to digest larger data sets efficiently, as well as identify trends in the data to help our clients make the best choice available. These tools use machine learning algorithms to analyze the data provided, as well as suggest optimal solutions through the trends in the data sets, ultimately streamlining the development of the project, improving value, and reducing inaccuracies. All of this leads to more efficient resource allocation, reduced rework, and faster project completion, providing our clients with increased project quality and performance. And last but not least, proposal and writing assistance. So there are many instances in which we are exploring the use of AI to assist our proposal teams, like shortening RFPs, which documents the needs and requirements, which then documents the needs and requirements of an RFP. From these requirements and WGI templates that we have established, we are able to generate and return an LOR with less manual input, saving our team's time. Another one is curating resumes. where algorithms generate tailored content that aligns with client expectations, like pulling from past resumes for a similar project type and the project requirements. The AI tool is able to narrow down the project team's experience, so the resume directly supports what is required for the new proposal. It has also been a great assistance to develop questions for our proposal presentation team's practice based on previously asked questions and similar project presentation scenarios. We've been also tooling with our AI algorithms to assist in data digestion for the proposal teams, similar to the slide before, but more tailored toward their needs. It is able to pull and document the differences between submittals based on judging criteria, as well as digest that winning submittal to better steer our work for our teams in the right direction. All of this will or has greatly increased our proposal team's productivity, minimizing time and effort spent on administrative tasks, allowing us to more efficiently serve our clients. Okay, and then lastly, just to wrap it all up, as expectations from clients and competitors continue to rise, our industry faces increasing pressure to innovate and deliver greater value. By actively researching, adopting, and integrating emerging AI technologies, WGI is not only meeting these demands, but exceeding them. These tools are empowering us to work smarter, deliver faster, and create even more meaningful outcomes for the people that we serve. We are energized by the challenges ahead and committed to harnessing the power of AI to enhance our capabilities, elevate client experiences, and make a lasting positive impact on the communities we touch. This is just the beginning, and we're really excited to keep pushing boundaries, finding innovative, creative solutions that drive value for our clients and the projects that shape our communities. And with that, I will open it up for any questions. I think Dan has allowed everybody to put their questions in the chat, so feel free to populate your questions there, and I'll do my best to answer them.
Go ahead and throw your questions in the Q&A section, guys, and we'll read those out. It looks like Lisa's asking, what about digital twins?
What about digital twins? So, we are doing the research and looking into using AI to help us assist that transfer of the inherent 3D model data into that digital twin. So a lot of the 3D model data already has the inherent intelligence behind all of the aspects, and we are harnessing that AI, or doing the research to harness that AI to help us develop these digital twins kind of beyond what's already in the 3D model. So make the connections like, okay, what's the most optimal fire exit route? Okay, what's the most optimal way to lay this out? So stuff like that.
All right. Are we telling our clients that we're using AI, utilizing AI? And if so, what's their feedback?
Great question. So we have a handful of clients that are really excited that we are using AI, and we are sharing that with them. And we also have a handful of clients that have asked that we don't use AI. So it kind of just depends on what the client's preference is. And we are, for the most part, I believe, letting our clients know whenever that is happening.
So Steve says, I know we have to check AI's work, but does AI point out items that challenged it and needs specific focus, special focus?
That's a great question. I'm going to answer your first statement. So I know we have to check AI's work. 100% yes. I keep telling everybody that we need to treat our AI helpers like our interns. So we have to make sure that we are double checking their work because they could get it 80% right. They could get it 100% wrong. So we need to go through and validate everything. But luckily that validation should not take you the same amount of time it would to totally redo it. So that's where that efficiency component comes in. But the second part of your question is, but does AI point out items that challenged it and need special focus? I think it could. I think that might be a great part of your conversation with an AI okay, I'm going to ask it this question, but then ask it, okay, did you miss anything? What challenged you? What made you draw that conclusion? Kind of treat it like a conversation, treat it like you're training somebody, treat it like you're wanting to understand how they understood that question.
And it looks like Eric is asking, he says, you mentioned using the digital twin for preventative and predictive maintenance. Can you expand on that and how it can be used?
Yes. Eric, I would love to point you to a colleague of mine who can answer this better, so I'll do my best. But if you could reach out afterward, I can get you a much more sound answer from one of my colleagues. But for the predictive and preventative maintenance, the vision for our digital twin practice is to be able to have sensors and have links to all of our digital twins that we're able to provide our clients, that we're able to say, hey, the HVAC system is using a lot more energy than anticipated. It needs to be checked, or it needs to be maintained, or hey, this part might be failing because it's not turning on the way we expected it to, or the way that we programmed it to. So it's having that all of the data in one place for an entire building will allow the users and the facilitators of that building to better maintain and allow for those predictions to pop up and allow you to get in front of those issues before a failure happens.
If you guys have any more questions, feel free to drop them in right now. And if not, Ayse's email, if you want to go back a slide, Ayse, that's her email there. And we will be sending out a recording of this webinar in an email on Friday to everybody that attended. So feel free to reach out on that, or if you want to send Ayse an email, go right ahead. Looks like that's going to be it, Ayse. Thank you very much. Awesome presentation.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.